Sir, Amit Agarwal, an alumnus of IIM Bangalore, asks, how can we excel in the global education scene?
Amit, it's a very good question. I have believed all through that education alone can be transformational of societal situations. It is education that alone can make a difference. And fortunately in our country, after a gap of 34 years, we have a new education policy. Evolution of this new education policy has been after taking inputs from various stakeholders. And the new education policy has imparted a mechanism which allows natural growth of talent amongst our students. And I am sure it will be a game changer. Much is happening on that count. One aspect which is slightly of concern is that on account of partisan interests, the policy has not been accepted by some states. This is not a policy of one government or a political party. It is a national education policy and we must subscribe to it. We cannot overlook the situation that in ancient times, India was home to some of the best institutions globally, Nalanda to name one. Time has come when India must become home to such like institutions, and I have no hesitation in asserting that our IITs, IIMs and other institutions of excellence are next to none in the world. Only we need to recognize that.
So, taking into account the immense potential of and the challenges faced by today's youth, Soumya Vijayalakshmi, an alumna of IIM Bangalore, asks, how do you think the Gen Z leaders will be prepared for Indian business, politics and beyond?
Soumya, my visit to IIM Bangalore was very rewarding. I got the first-hand feel that our future is safe. When I looked into the eyes and saw the response of students, I have no doubt our next generation is going to make us ever proud. We are at the moment in Amrit Kal, but you all constitute a category of people who will take us to India of 2047. I call you as warriors of 2047, and I have no doubt that we will be in a position to reach at pinnacle of global level with your commitment and direction. So we are extremely sanguine about the performance of our next generation leaders. The education ecosystem has revolutionized education. One thing which is very wholesome, which is very impactful, that there is emergence of an ecosystem on account of several government initiatives and affirmative policies that make available to every individual young mind to fully exploit his or her talent and potential, and that for sure will contribute to the growth of the country and make enough avenues available for generation next. Another aspect, in the toughest times the humanity is facing, our generation next has shown its spinal strength when we look at the growth of startups and unicorns. I would therefore like to indicate two things in particular. One, we must subscribe to economic nationalism. It is very painful and disturbing to note that items and goods that can be available in our country locally are being imported. That does not augur well for our economy. I am sure a spirit of economic nationalism would considerably enhance our participation in economy in a positive sense. It is with considerable pride I indicate that in September 2022, India had the honor to be world's 5th largest economy. And what is more significant is, in the process we overtook our erstwhile colonial rulers. By turn of this decade, India will be the 3rd largest global economy. This is on account of efforts of institutions like IIM, IITs, and the great effort put in by our artisans, our farmers, our industrial workers, our entrepreneurs, and also our industrialists. So, governmental policies, efforts of everyone has resulted in accomplishment of this dimension, which was not thinkable a few years ago.
Sir, Abhishek Sancheti from the PGP course has two questions geared towards the clarion call for a self-reliant India. He asks, what is the role of students of IIM Bangalore in realizing Atmanirbhar Bharat? Additionally, what is the importance of being Atmanirbhar in an increasingly protectionist world? In a related question, sir, Palash Gupta, an alumnus of IIM Bangalore, has drawn attention to the critical link between education and democracy. Palash asks, what is the importance, contribution and relevance of educational institutions like IIM Bangalore in strengthening the democracy in India?
Well, all these questions relate to one core issue, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now, this concept envisioned by the Prime Minister is being realized on the ground, and this has become an important facet of our Amritkal performance. I can indicate with deep sense of pride that the nation is on the rise as never before. Our rise is unstoppable, and this is on account of directional policies aimed at improving in an inclusive manner lives of our people. This has been demonstrated. India's rise at the moment is not pyramidical. Rise of this country at the moment is of a plateau nature, and the rise is not limited to metro cities. The rise has taken roots in villages as well. Just imagine what an out-of-box thought which has been realized. Aspirational districts and smart cities. This concept has brought about equitable growth and development to all parts of the country. IIMs are premier institutes. They have global recognition. Same is about IITs and other institutes also. Even in the legal field you will find what was not there earlier. We have national law schools and they make us proud. What is to be seen is, can we allow our institutes of excellence to be run down by other institutes outside? And that running down, unfortunately, is taking place by setting afloat a narrative in foreign universities on platforms that are fiscally driven by our billionaires. I am not critical of the role of billionaires. They may not have done it with the same intentions. Their bona fides are not suspect, but they are required to be extra careful. Just imagine a scenario. There are universities in the US that have students and faculty from various countries in the world. How is it that only our students and our faculty positioned in that university will be decrying our progress, will be denigrating our nation, will be setting afloat a narrative to run down our IITs, and all out of ignorance and without any factual premise? So I am sure that we need to antidote these nefarious activities. Our accomplishments are for all to see. Writing on the wall, if we have today more than 100 unicorns and become an envy of the entire world, that is on account of the strength of our institutions. To call IITs, to call IIMs as exclusive preserve of upper caste is an insult to the ground reality in this country. And I am sure all right-thinking people, particularly of the category who are students of IITs and IIMs, they must speak out their mind and go about it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has very aptly described startups as being economic backbone of New India, adding strength to the resolve of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The startups have created numerous employment opportunities across the various sectors. Prime Minister has rightly indicated that rather than be job seekers, become job creators. And so India is making impactful presence in the field of employment on two counts. One, the government is generating large number of jobs. Only recently the Honorable Prime Minister has distributed it in a function. Large number, thousands of jobs, lakhs of jobs. Secondly, there is creation of jobs on account of opportunities being made available to people who are enterprising, people who take to entrepreneurship, and people who avail facilities of the government. Let me give a small illustration. Just have a look at Mudra loans. Look at the dimension of it. Look at the respect the person who gets Mudra loan earns for himself, and look at the pride in that person when he generates employment for the others. So things are looking up.